Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Werkene. In this video record, I'm going to talk about modern public administration. It moved beyond the traditional. The modern public administration moved beyond the traditional, rigid bureaucracies towards more flexible and efficient governance. We know the classical or the traditional public administration were very rigid, hierarchical, and it's in its nature also it is traditional. Now, the modern public administration is better than that in terms of its flexibility, in terms of its efficiencies. Not only this, in the traditional model or in the classical model, it actually that model highly promotes hierarchies, separation of politics and administration, and strict controls of workers, right? The classical or the traditional public administration promote those things. There is no humanity over there. But now, modern public administration is more flexible, right? More efficient, more effective, and it also considers humanity, right? Workers are not machines under modern public administration, but in the traditional public administration, worker, especially scientific management theory, consider worker as a machine, as a part of a machine, right? Reform in 1980s and in 1990s introduced new public management principle. Yes, new public management movement or reform happened in 1980s and in 1990s. We know the principle of new public management. It's about more of performance oriented, more of privatization, more of decentralization, and those things, right? It focuses on efficiencies, performance oriented, result using market, performance and result using market oriented approach. These are some of the characteristics of new public management, which actually also reflected in modern public administration. New public management is a subset of modern public administration. In other words, modern public administration depend on the ideology of this new public management movement. Efficiency, effectiveness, performance-oriented, result-oriented, market-oriented approaches. Therefore, the modern public administration combine public sector value with private sector management practice. This is the core ideology of new public management movements. So, modern approach, the modern public administration aim to improve service delivery and responsiveness to citizens. Right? These are some of the characteristics of modern public administration: efficiency and effectiveness, decentralization and delegation, new public management itself, policy implementation, accountability and transparency, use of technologies, public participation, legal and ethical framework, interdisciplinary approach, adaptability and innovation are the key characteristics or feature of modern public administration. Right? As I told you, or as I mentioned it already, new modern public administration actually copied the reform that happened in new public management movements. Therefore, new public management is already here. New public management is a subset or it is a part of modern public administration. Modern public administration is very broad. It is a system of administration and new public management reform is an ideology that actually happened in 1980s and in 1990s. So I hope this help you to understand mainly the concept of modern public administration and its characteristics. For detail, you can refer to these tables. Thank you very much. This is the end of chapter 1, which is foundation of public administration. In this chapter, we have seen mainly the concept and the definition of public administration. We start by defining what administration is, then what public administration, what private administration is, and then we have seen the evolution of public administration from the classical or the traditional to the new public management, like social and human behavioral, public administration models. And then even we have seen about this new public management movements and post new public management movement. And we have seen all those things under revolution of public administration. Then we have seen the scope of public administration, purpose of public administration, significance of public administration, and lastly, today's session is about modern public administration and its characteristics. This chapter helps you to understand about those concepts, theories, practice, and practical knowledges. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any question, comment, or suggestion anytime, you are welcome. Thank you. Have a nice time.